سبحان الله عما يشركون.
Just to use another tradition, in some traditional Buddhism, the chef in the monastery had to be enlightened. Like they didn't let just anybody into the kitchen. In the Islamic tradition, there's a whole tradition about food preparation and the intention of the cook. My teachers, the people that cooked, always made the intention that the food was a healing. One of the things that's really interesting in our culture, when you go to, they don't teach grammar anymore, so people use transitive verbs as intransitive verbs. But when you go to a restaurant, they say enjoy, right? Enjoy is, I guess you could make it intransitive, but you usually enjoy something. But here it means the food, but they just say enjoy. In traditional cultures, they never would say something like that. They would say like salud, with health. In the Arabic culture, they say bisahha wal afiyah, with health and well-being, which reminds us of the purpose of the food. It's not to enjoy. Enjoyment is part of it. I mean, it's wonderful that food is so enjoyable, but that's not the reason why you're actually eating it. That's why the glutton eats. But somebody who's serious about maintaining their health, they eat for health. And we're literally digging our graves with our teeth. In our tradition, you're not allowed to kill an animal in front of another animal. And if you look, it's arguable that it's unethical to eat meat today, unless you're on a farm. There was an interesting article about a man who decided for 1 year, I didn't see the film, but he did a documentary where he only ate what he killed for 1 year. And when he would buy the sheep, one of the sheep farmers told him, he said, I think I'm going to call that, Zeke. And he said, no, don't name them because you'll get attached to them. But he chose to name them. What he said was the thing that struck him most was the gratitude he felt to the animal when he ate it. And in our tradition, there's a belief that the animal wants to be energy for good deeds. Because by becoming part of a righteous person, it's elevated in its state from an animal that doesn't have free will, that only behaves according to its nature, to part of a being with free will. And the animal hates to be used for foulness or for misdeeds. And so that whole cosmology, which might sound romantic, but it was real. People, and I met people that still live like this, and my wife does this. She cooks with that intention. If I cook with that intention. When I serve food, I cook with that intention. I'll just tell you one quick story. I have a friend of mine who's a connoisseur of tea, and he'll only drink certain teas. And in England, PG Tips is like the worst tea. And he went to a friend of mine's house, and I know both of them, and it was tea time, and the English take this very seriously. And so he only had PG Tips in the house, and so he said, God, he's going to know this is horrible tea. So he goes in, and he told me that he made a prayer over the tea. And he said, oh God, make this delightful for my friend. And he went in and he poured the tea, and he told me that he drank, and he said, that's the best cup of tea I think I've ever had. And, there's a reality to these things. We don't realize just the power of intention. Niyya in Arabic, which means intention, also means seed. It's the seed of the thing, why you do so. And so many of us do things without intention. There's no intentionality. And intention, in our tradition, intention is everything. Why you're doing something. And constantly asking yourself, why am I doing this? To check our intention.